Hey guys, it's Sammy. Welcome back to my channel featuring the Viagra Jacket Part 2. In today's video, I wanted to go through the 5 books that I must read in 2020. This is kind of a continuation of something I've been doing since last year. I'll link up my TBR video up above for what I did last year. For the 5 books that I wanted to read in 2020, I wanted to read a book from an author that I had not read yet, and I owned more than one book from them. So I filmed that TBR video and then I followed up on it at the end of the year. I'll link up my follow-up about like, will I be reading more from these authors in the future? So for this, I wanted to kind of stay in the same realm and pick the 5 books that I want to read in 2020 as like this goal centered around another like similar grouping. And so for this year, I decided I was going to go on Goodreads and pick the top 5 most highly rated books on my TBR. This is going to be a book that everyone loves. I consider doing books everyone doesn't like, but let's be real, I did most of those in my these 12 books self-destruct in 12 months video. I'll also link up above where I talked about these books that if I don't read them in 12 months, I'm going to unhaul them, mostly because they don't vibe with me and a lot of them have questionable ratings and reviews. So I actually haven't picked them yet. I'm going to go on Goodreads and we're going to find out together what are the top rated books on my shelf. I'm thinking I'm going to keep this at standalones just because I know, at least prior to me reading them, the series that should not be named was definitely up there. I read all those, so those aren't going to be there anymore. I know City of Heavenly Fire was also up there, which I actually just finished, and so that obviously won't be on my TBR anymore anyway. I know there's a lot of series, like last books in the series, like I want to say The Last Olympian's up there, I want to say Lair of Dreams, which is the second book in the Diviners series, is up there, Six of Crows, and well, I guess if it's the first book in the series, I'll give it a go. But if it's like a second or third, fourth, whatever, because Throne of Glass, I don't know if maybe like the later books of Throne of Glass is probably up there. Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, that's the book I was trying to think of, is probably up there. I want to say those are most of the series that I have. I don't know if Lady Midnight would be up there, or like Queen of Shadows, or whatever the second book's called. Queen of Air and Darkness, Lord of Shadows? I have no idea. But I'm going to try to keep it to standalones, or if it's the first book in the series, then technically it's not like jaded by like only being read by people who like the first book. So that's kind of like my thought process, is that if it's a standalone, it's being read by new readers. Granted, it's also taking into account some of these are probably going to be from really popular authors and they already have a fan base. But like in series, people read the next book in the series are more likely to like it because they're continuing on with the series, you know? So whatever, that was a really long-winded explanation for me saying I'm only going to be picking standalones or first books in the series. So I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm going to start off with my owned TBR, which if you look at how I kind of have my TBR broken up here on my Goodreads, which I'll put over here. I have ARC TBR, so that's ARCs. Some of them are so old at this point, so they're not really even ARCs anymore, but I still classify them as ARCs. Audiobook TBR, so this is books I have through Libro.fm. You can check out my link down below. I am an affiliate for them. If you click the link, you get a free audiobook, I get a free audiobook, or like a credit. And they're a really great company because every time you buy an audiobook, the money goes towards a indie bookseller. So I'm supporting Browse About Books that's located in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, but you can pick any local bookstore you want to support on there. It's really cool, a lot better than Audible, and it's just really great overall, so highly recommend. That's where all of those from. That's DNF, so that's irrelevant. Ebook TBR, so these are books I physically own on my ebook or my Kindle, and then own TBR, which is all the books on my shelves that I haven't read. I guess I'm just gonna have to do some math and find out if some of these have higher ratings or than like the ARCs or like the ebooks. So I'm gonna filter this by average rating, and then we're gonna find out what my future holds. Oh shit. Okay, so starting off, actually, I guess I should have also mentioned that if it's the second book in a series and I've already read the first book, then I can read the second one. Maybe though, I guess that kind of defeats the purpose of me saying I won't read it because it's kind of skewed by the people. But I am tempted to read Heartstopper because I read the first volume and I really loved it. So let me grab it. So this is Heartstopper Volume 2 by Alice Oseman. I read Heartstopper Volume 1 last year. It was my favorite books of the year. Check out that video. I'll link it up above. Not sure if I'm gonna include this in the list, but I'm gonna look and see what else we have here, and then I'll decide. So then, as expected, Crooked Kingdom, Queen of Shadows, so yeah, a Throne of Glass book, Lance Olympian, Lord of Shadows, which is, well, no, that makes sense. I was gonna say, wait, why isn't like Lady Midnight up here? These are all second books, so they're obviously more, or second, later on books, they're more likely. Same with Heartstopper. So I'm kind of like, that's kind of like against my rules, so I'm not sure. Six of Crows. So I suspected this would be up here. I'm not sure if I want to include this simply because I do plan on finishing the Shadow and Bone series, but I do think I want to read it before. So technically, while this is the first book in the series, it's not like the only book you need to read before it, if that makes sense. Like, obviously I wouldn't read Chain of Gold if it's up here. I don't own Chain of Gold, but I wouldn't read Chain of Gold because I know I have to read the rest of the Cassandra Clare books before I get there. So let me grab it. Six of Crows, first book in the Six of Crows duology. This is kind of a continuation, or it's in the same world as Shadow and Bone, which I read last year. I gave it 4 stars, I think. Moving on. Captive Prince Volume 2. No. I mean, obviously Volume 2, it doesn't fit the rules, but also just like in general, like I can't believe I own that. Crown of Midnight, Battle of the Labyrinth, Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy, Lady Midnight, Assassin's Blade. Fuck me. Not the fucking Book Thief. I totally forgot about the Book Thief. Oh no. This is what I get for keeping books that I don't even know if I'm gonna like at all. I should have known this was gonna be on here. This is The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. It is a gigantic book. It is 552 pages. I didn't think about this. I didn't think this would be on here. I honestly have no idea what this book is about other than it's World War II and everyone loves it, clearly. 4.37, that's really high, especially for like a standalone. Okay. Clap When You Land? Okay. I was not expecting this either. I'm like very surprised. Not that I don't think this book would be that highly rated, but wow. Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. This was a book I really wanted to read this year regardless, so it's great that it's on here, and I'm like kind of shocked. Like, I'm like very pleasantly surprised at this. This is a book I wasn't even on my radar for being up here. I guess technically there was a Book Thief, but like that makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, that's really cool. So technically right now I have 4, so technically maybe it's only 1 more, but Heartstopper, Six of Crows, The Book Thief, Clap When You Land. So technically maybe only 1 more, but I'm still unsure about these, so I don't know if I should pick 3 more or what, or what's going on. Okay, Titan's Curse, Percy Jackson 3, no. Onyx, so yeah, so like look, I own Onyx, which is Lux #2. So I think, and I'm not gonna include that because me thinking like, oh, it's rated higher because the people reading it already like the first book. So that means I'm gonna take out Heartstopper. Does that mean I should also take out Six of Crows? Because technically a continuation. I think I'm gonna take it out. If you guys want to argue about it, like those two, at least Six of Crows. I think Heartstopper doesn't count. If you guys want to argue for Six of Crows, leave a comment down below and I'll consider all arguments about it and whether I should include that on the books I need to read. I think I'm gonna read it this year anyway, so it's not really like a big deal, but for purposes I'm gonna keep going. So that was the last book. And Ember in the Ashes. F me. So I actually started this and DNF'd it back in the day. Not in the day, it was like last year sometime, and I honestly couldn't even tell you when it was. And I didn't DNF it because I didn't like it. I just like was not in a reading mood, and like this was like, I felt like I had to pay a lot of attention and it just wasn't doing it for me at the time. I'm not mad at this pick. I'm not necessarily even surprised by it either, because I know this is so well beloved. It's like generally acknowledged that this is actually like very quality. And I do like what I've read so far. So yeah, and all the books are out now too, so I should catch up on the series regardless. But this is truly a first book in a series, so I'm gonna include it. It is not being skewed by anything except for people loving it. So, okay. So that's 3 books. Interesting. Okay. Evolution of Mara. That doesn't count. Lightning Thief. Okay. Oh gosh. Should have kept this standalone, Sammy. The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan, Percy Jackson. The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. Obviously, this is a good book, okay? I'm not out here to say it's not. And like, I don't know, I should have expected that there would be a lot of first books in a series on here. Well, I guess there's only been 2 so far. It's fine, it's fine. I think I'm still gonna allow first books in the series because they're technically not being skewed. It's fine, okay. I'm gonna keep this too. Okay, okay. So now we only have 1 left. Okay? I'm like nervous. Oh my god, what? With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo, which is Elizabeth Acevedo's other book. Both of her books are some of the highest rated, which makes me so happy because, I mean, they are fantastic. Well, the one I read was fantastic. I've heard nothing but good things about the other 2, but I never realized just how highly rated they were in comparison to other books. So that just makes me really happy. Okay, so now I'm like contemplating what I'm doing. So this is my 5 books. I'm only going to have 5 for the purpose of this video. We have The Book Thief, Ember in the Ashes, Lightning Thief, With the Fire on High, and Clap When You Land. Those are the highest rated books that aren't skewed by being a future book in a series. And so it's standalones, and then I have 2 first books in the series. But now I need to check any of my other books, so my audiobooks, my ebooks. I don't know if I'm going to include ARCs, if they have any higher ratings than 4.25. Because 4.25 is the lowest of like my top 5. So now I have to go back here and let's look at ebook. I'm thinking not, but I really don't know. Oh god, the Foxhole Court. Okay, wait, that didn't look like it had that high of ratings. Wait, I don't know what I just clicked. Okay, average rating. Dun, dun. Oh shit. Okay, wait, no, wait. Those are the second books in the book. Verity. Verity? This is what I get for saying, oh, well, like, add some other stuff. So Verity would knock out Clap When You Land. Or no, it would knock out With the Fire Set on High, sorry. With the Fire on High. Contemplating my life choices right now. Verity, Colleen Hoover. I've heard such bad things about this book. How is the rating so high? Well, it's because Colleen Hoover. Okay. Okay. None of the rest of these would beat out that. So now what's my lowest? Is my this is giving me a crisis. So now the Lightning Thief at 4.26 is my lowest. Yeah, so now whatever else needs to be above 4.26. So that was ebook. Let's look at audiobook, although these books are newer, so god. Okay, nothing here. The lowest is 4.25, so that wouldn't beat the Lightning Thief. Okay. Do I want to look at ARCs? We can look. Because, like, technically, they're basically just normal books at this point. One Last Stop. Oh, shit. A lot of these are rated. Okay. So, no, I'm not going to include books that haven't already come out yet. Even though they will come out in 2021, I'm just not going to include them for this purpose because no. They're skewed right now by like early reviewers and no. So, god. Okay, so now what we're sitting with right now is The Book Thief, which, okay. Clap When You Land, which, amazing. I'm so excited. And Ember in the Ashes, I'm cautiously excited about this. I don't want it to let me down though. The Lightning Thief, which I've been meaning to start forever, so, I mean, it's fine. And I originally had With the Fire Set on High, which I was so excited for, but now I have Verity by Colleen Hoover. So, interesting list we have here of books I need to read in 2021. We also have, if you want to argue that Six of Crows should be in there, like, I know you're gonna like say I should read it, and I know I should read it, but like thinking about how I thought about this process, let me know if you think it should qualify as a first book in a series, because that was like my qualification. Anyway, that is my list. I hope you enjoyed the process of this video because it was a little shocking for me, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Let me know your thoughts on any of these books down below. I hope you have a great day. Bye!